Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep. We are here Friday night. We got our friend Bernie here. What's up, Bernie?
I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be a great night, Sheep. I'm gonna bring the energy, and we're gonna win a lot of money on DraftKings.
All right, we got the chat is popping already, even before the stream. That's how you know everybody's excited for you, Bernie.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of DK best ball baseball content in the world, so we are breaking world records tonight.
Yes, you have been part of some of the offerings over at Spike Week this year, putting together some written stuff for baseball. But not to say that it's bad, but it's very interesting this year. This is your first year really diving into baseball, so I think this is I'm really excited to get a different perspective as someone who's not as jaded, so to speak.
Well, so that's the really interesting thing about it is I don't have preconceived notions on any of these players.
Right.
I learn a player's name. I try to figure out some interesting things about them and go, hey, are they going to get good best ball scores? Like, that's what I know. That's what I'm looking into. I'm using best ball strategy. I'm pulling from NFL drafts, which is where my bread is buttered.
Mhm.
So I'm really open to every single player. Like, I have kind of types I like already, like archetypes of players, like guys who hit the piss out of the ball. Like, those are the ones I want to click on and those types of things. But I played, I think, I can't remember the exact number, like 25 or 40 lineups last year on DraftKings, and I had a few on Drafters. And I did pretty darn good. Like, I made my money back, which we all know best ball. That's not a game where you usually make your money back. So I'm getting a bit deeper into baseball this year because I think I can apply my best ball strategy, but then also by diving deeper, doing a bit of research on the player pool, I can give myself a good chance at winning one of these things.
Cool. I like it. Let's dig in. I don't know. I think we're gonna do a $20 tonight. I've got a few tickets to both these contests so far through some spring training DFS, which is the ultimate degenerate sport where you're basically all your scoring comes in the first 5 innings and then all the starters are taken out.
Yeah. Well, chat, we need 10 of you to get in here with us. Let's go. $20 DraftKings.
Yep.
Wait, you took Acuna still 101? He
has
a day-to-day tag.
Before we started, Bernie made the claim that he saw multiple people today take pass on Acuna for the day-to-day tag. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I've done one. I did the $10 single entry so far. I didn't have a ton of time right when the contest opened, but I thought that was the best way to take advantage of the really bad ADP at the first. Just get into that single entry contest as soon as possible.
So a little DraftKings nugget. I like to refresh my page a lot to make sure the contest doesn't start without me not noticing.
I will say that it is pretty bad. Yeah. Okay. We got 8 out of 12.
So I teased on Twitter that we have a drinking game tonight. Sheep doesn't know what it is. Y'all don't know what it is. If you want to join in, if you want to, this is your choice. Every time I mispronounce a player's name, Sheep and the chat has to drink.
Okay. Excellent. All right. We are starting. That's exciting. Oh, we got
Blues. I don't know if we'll get Acuna at 4.
That would be something. We got Rocco in here.
SSI Goose is in the Spike Week chat.
Okay.
Rocco.
Our buddy Wu-Tang Killer Bees is here at pick 12. Yeah, Rocco is the reigning champion. He took first.
Reigning double champion?
Yeah, I got first and second last year. This is new this year. I did not have this last year. this
Right
draft board.
after Spike Week created our draft board for NFL, within like 2 weeks, DK had a draft board. And so they had it for football, and now it came over to MLB. So it's pretty nice. Like when you look at it, it's just really user friendly. And I just like that it all fits on one screen. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So for those who might not be super familiar, DraftKings is slightly different in terms of the format. You do not have the flex position. You have to still fill 3 pitchers, 3 outfielders, and 3 infielders.
Yeah. So one less starter. That's kind of important.
All right. Grill Belichick does not have the same name. He is straight Geo in here. So we got lots of friends and family. Billy is here. What's up, my friend? Wonderful guest last week. Also helping you out over there at Spike Week this year.
Yeah. Billy has an article that's coming out on baseball really soon that I did some light reviewing of and reading of yesterday, and it is really interesting. It's primarily focused on underdog, but I might bring up some of the points tonight because I think they're applicable here too.
All right. Pitchers, Yoshi's saying here, pitchers go quicker on DK. I think that seems true from what I remember last year. The other interesting thing is relative to hitters, pitchers do not score as much compared to underdog.
Yeah, and it's kind of odd because the pitching scoring is way different than underdog pitching scoring too.
Right. And it's just a lower amount.
Yeah.
All right. So we
can take S. Ohtani or Judge.
Do you know Ohtani's first name?
I'm not. Do you want to start drinking?
We're going to take Ohtani as our first outfield.
Okay. Since we took him, I have to try it. Shohei?
Shohei.
That wasn't bad. All right, chat. Time to drink.
Now you're just doing it on purpose. That seemed like
that was for real.
Okay. So yeah, we do see Strider here with an ADP of 7, whereas he's somewhere over here on underdog.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about the pitchers is they're almost treated on DraftKings like quarterbacks in some sense, where the draft rooms always love to pull up quarterbacks higher than they do on underdog or higher than they do on drafters. It seems like that's just the same thing with pitchers here. It's just the community on DraftKings pulls them up for not much reason. I personally do think elite pitchers are worth a little bit more here, but like not where they go even. They're still being overdrafted.
Okay. So the thing, like, as I was playing out my season last year on DraftKings, I felt like, I looked, or when I started, I looked at the scoring. I saw they score less points relative to hitters. So I really punted it down the field last year. But now the thing, as the season played out, I realized, like, even though I don't want to keep up with the field, I kind of can't get too far behind on the field, because if everybody's doing it, you're just getting behind at the position overall. So I definitely want to not punt it as much as I did last year.
Yeah, and this will be interesting how our room treats this, because we have numerous people watching here.
True.
Drafting. This might be the sharpest draft room so far this year. So what's going to happen is going to be maybe a little bit different than your normal mouth breather room.
This is true. Yeah, and this is the interesting. Yoshi thinks the lower dollars might be a little bit softer also. I think my least favorite thing on DraftKings, though, is I can't do the star method as easy. I can't search by team. I can't filter by team.
But you can filter by rank or by ADP.
That's true. I did not obviously have any rankings in here yet.
Yeah. They're for free on Spike Week if you want them.
I don't trust that Eric guy. I don't know. He's too much. He has too much positive to say about Ellie De La Cruz. So
we're gonna take Ellie tonight in the 3.4.
We are not. Well, we'll see.
Rocco already making friends.
Taking the Olsen-Riley combo. Yeah, so Gio, interesting there, did take Olsen early in the attempt to get that combo, but he does not know Rocco's love of the Braves.
Yeah. Ooh, what do you like here?
All right, we are on the clock. This seems like a pretty easy Bryce Harper to me.
Okay, we could do that. I would go Treya Turner, but
take a drink. If you can't do two different sounding, and you're
I
one
think
of
it's
them's going to be
Trey,
wrong.
isn't it?
It is Trey Turner.
Okay. Yeah, because what I do like about the Phillies guys is Nick Castellanos has a pretty decent price.
Take another drink.
And then the Philly infielders, there's a slew of them kind of tiered later in your draft, and maybe where you want to draft infielders.
Alec,
you can
what's his last name?
Stott.
Boom.
No.
Boom. Okay, you got it. Bryson
Real
Stott.
Moto.
Real Moto.
Think, right?
We got another one there.
Those are all Phillies, though.
Yeah.
And 1 month ago, I couldn't have named one of those guys. And we're just ripping them off the top of the head here today, Sheep.
Right. But I'm definitely way Bryce Harper over Trey Turner.
Why is that for somebody who doesn't know?
Just power upside. I think so. Trey has. I don't want to say he's bad, but like he has some bad fantasy periods, and he has been he trended up at a certain point in the season, but overall the last few years, some of the fantasy impact that he's had has gone down a little bit. He's still amazing, so I don't want to make it too rough, but Bryce Harper is just going to score more fantasy points. He's just more. Yamamoto at 25.
One at the turn. Guy skipped Albies for him.
All right, so we are up next.
Oh, man. It's almost like God wants us to take Ellie De La Cruz.
We are pick 28. So this is really easy for me. This is a Rafael Devers.
Oh.
No matter what.
Yeah, we can do this. I did this earlier today.
The same exact.
I took Soto, another infielder, and then Devers from our kind of a spot here.
Yeah.
And Devers just kind of works out nice. There's a guy called Casas that fits really well with him too.
Yes. Tristan Casas. Very good. They did just bring in CJ Crone on a minor league deal. Who is a first baseman DH type, right-handed.
Was a Rocky last year. We know
Right.
that from building for Coors Field.
There you go. What's up, Nez? Welcome. Oh, yeah.
Nez, if you miss the start, you have to drink every time I pronounce somebody's name wrong.
Yeah. Here, Billy's setting you up here for this player.
Oh, I know it. I've heard people talk about him. Robert.
So this is a tricky one because I don't think anybody knows how to say it correctly.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a Cuban pronunciation, and there's like a US pronunciation of it. There's how he pronounces it. There's how the media guide has it slightly different than him saying it in his accent. And so it's not Robert, it's like Robert, but it's not Robert, it's Robert. I can't even say it. Like nobody
good for him.
And I think there's an element of it that he just doesn't care. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't. So he doesn't correct people. I don't know. So if you do a search online,
fun to mess with people too.
That's true. Cody Bellinger is an outfielder here unlike
There's a
underdog.
few guys that I've heard people complaining in Discord about being in different positions, especially even on drafters. There's some
Yes.
guys that are in vastly different positions.
Yes, I did that. I made that mistake. Mr. Nolan Jones is an infielder for some reason over there. I did like two people. I did one drafters team so far, and I took two people without looking at their position, and they were both infield.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here trying to learn, get smarter about baseball, and I'm like Mookie Betts, second baseman. Not like log into Underdog, I log into DraftKings, and he's an outfielder, and I'm like, okay, well, that's like the third overall pick, and we can't get him right.
Yeah. So Nolan Jones is going a lot later here. I guess outfielder in general here. This group is going a little bit later, maybe not totally,
Yeah,
but
I think you would see there's not as much outfield thirst.
okay.
I don't think it's like particularly deep or anything like that, but it does last a little bit longer than you see on Underdog.
Okay. All right. I do see what I'm
You got a
thinking
guy?
about. Yeah, I do.
Okay, who is it?
It was Kevin Gossman who just went.
Okay.
So in the interest of not getting behind at pitcher as I did last year,
Okay, we could take this guy.
we're gonna take L.
It's Luis.
Luis, very good, very good. He has a last name too.
Yeah, Castillo.
Yes, there you go.
Like, okay, I thought you already said Castillo. I didn't think you were testing me on
okay.
that. So there's a couple things that like stick out. Like Bo Bichette, like there has to be like Boba Fett memes out there, right? For this dude.
There's literal Boba Fett bobbleheads.
Okay. I just assumed like it's too easy of a correlation.
There's actually there's a whole Twitter meme for a day. Everybody was coming up with different Bo names or Bichette names, like bro Bichette, and anyway. But no, every baseball team has well, that's interesting. The Possum takes Ozuna, but skipped on the Albies part of the Atlanta stack.
Yeah, and it wasn't like Yamamoto is a auto pick there. Like he chose him.
Right.
Or she. I don't want to assume the Possum's gender. I apologize.
Very good. But no, every team has a Star Wars day, and they always do one player as a character. All right, so
do you want to?
We're gonna
Nick
we're gonna take Nick Castellanos. I think he's being drafted at his ceiling this year based on what he did last year. But I think he makes sense still, and he can still pay off this. It's just not like a super comfortable pick this year at cost for me.
Yeah. I mean, if you do look at his game log for his like last 15 games, it is pretty nice if you care about those things. I mean, great sample size.
I think, yeah.
Okay. There's something I just want to talk about real quick. Just because we have a little bit of time before our pick. So one of the things that a lot of people are maybe realizing, maybe not when they come on DraftKings, is the playoffs are basically 2 weeks offset of Underdog. So it goes 2 weeks longer. And what I was doing was I was researching this a little bit this week, like trying to prepare, maybe write an article about it. Is there any teams that we want to like attack or fade or whatnot? And Manny Machado is a guy I thought you might have wanted there. And I was going to be like, no. So San Diego plays the least amount of regular season games from my rough math today because they have the 2 games in Asia somewhere to start the season.
Korea, yeah.
That
is in Asia.
Correct.
Yep.
And then they're the only team in the 2-week round 4 final on DraftKings that plays 11 games. Every other team plays 12, 13, or 14.
Okay. That's
So,
interesting.
like, not that I'd like totally never would take a Padre, but like if we're looking at guys in the same tiers and like it's not a stacking thing or whatnot, like that would bump them to the bottom of a tier for me.
That's interesting. That's good to know. Yeah. Machado is one of my highest drafted guys on
I
Underdog.
know. I know. One of your other highest drafted guys is undrafted here and he plays pitcher.
Oh, okay. A Seth Lugo
Yes, sir.
shout out.
Like 227 or something like that last time I looked.
Okay, interesting. Yoshi here. First of all, if you're Silver Yoshi, why are all these other Yoshi? Like, is there even a Silver Yoshi in that
We're
picture?
inclusive of all colors of Yoshi.
Oh, I agree, but like, is there a Silver Yoshi? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. But I do want to like shout out us for being in the minority of streamers. Cheap. No hats.
And if I was wearing a hat, it would be forward.
Yeah. I mean,
I do not pull off the backward hat look. See, my biggest problem with hats is my hair changes sizes so drastically. It's just like, it's a lot of work resizing them. So,
yeah. Well, I heard something that's probably like an old tale that like if you wear hats, it like potentially makes you go bald sooner. So like I heard that as a kid and I'm just like, I don't want to go bald. So we're not ever gonna wear a hat. And
no,
I know it's probably not real, but I do not want to go to bald, so I'm still not going to risk it.
This is the hard hitting analysis we have tonight. Old wives' hat tails. All right. So what we got is a pitcher and two infielders, two outfielders. It's hard to. This is interesting.
Ooh.
This is interesting. All right.
Yeah. We got some fallers here.
Yeah.
Which
so
Scooball I haven't picked yet. We got Fried and Valdez hanging around.
All right. Hold on. Max Fried. We'll drink for that.
That's not how you pronounce that. I've fried an egg before. I'm familiar with that.
If you do an activity, that doesn't mean you know how to pronounce the word. So there's not a correlation to that.
The chat is drunk probably by now, or they're just logged out. One of the two.
Have you seen this where pitchers are bundling up here at the top?
Absolutely not. This does not happen on DraftKings.com.
Okay, so this might be part of the room dynamic that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. So I haven't clicked Scooball because he was already gone. What's good about him? I live in Michigan. You hear a little bit about him. Like he's kind of an unknown young player. Like what does he do good?
He gets strikeouts, which is good he's a pitcher. What he does bad is we have not seen a long stretch of the excellence. So we've seen flashes of it. We've seen injury issues. So basically it's a factor of it's in there, but like, can he put it together for a whole season? But he was one of the best second half. He was one of the best second half pitchers last year. Where the chat. This is Is this a bit, Bernie? Are you? I don't think so.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna need more beer. I'm glad I did bring a second beer for this stream. All right, we are on the clock. We are distracted.
Zeus, man, the Jesus lizard is my guy.
Okay. I'm worried about outfielder here.
We could take Hap.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up Hap. I think maybe we're gonna take Jorge Soler. No, we want a little consistency right now.
Okay, I haven't picked that Soler guy yet. I just been steered clear of Giants.
We're on auto
Talk
draft.
to me about him. Oh,
How do I get off auto draft?
you'll have to switch back to players from the draft board,
Oh.
and then in the top right corner. Yeah.
All right. Sorry
So
about that.
why did you want Soler?
I mean, I didn't really want to pay for him there, but he is another guy who has inconsistency in playing time, but just smashes the ball.
Oh, you should have led with that, man. He hits the snot out of it, and I'd be like, click the button.
Yeah, I did take the more boring pick there, in Ian Happ, who just kind of does everything and just plays consistently. Has not had any injuries or whatever. But Soler, some of the discussion on Soler is, I mean, he went to San Francisco, which is not a place you want a power hitter. I mean, you don't really want too many hitters there at all.
Yeah, we learned that with Conforto last year.
Well, I wouldn't really call him a power hitter anymore.
Well, I thought he was.
He was maybe at one point, but some injuries.
Somebody sold me a bill of goods on him last year.
He missed the whole season with some shoulder stuff, and it has not bounced back from that. But no, so the thing that I want to push back against people saying, "Oh, Soler's, you don't want to take him on the Giants." Like, obviously, if you're worried about team context, I understand. But Park, like, he's always smashed the ball in bad parks. Like, there's no downgrade for what he's done. If you're looking at his like stats he's put up in previous seasons, like the home run levels like that he's gotten to in Kansas City and Miami, like, just it doesn't matter where he's hitting. He can just hit the ball out of the park. So I do think it's a little bit overblown on him. But like, if you want to avoid the Giants in general, I do understand that.
I mean, there's just not many guys on there, and I do believe in stacking. So, like, if I haven't found players to stack with, he wouldn't jump out to me necessarily.
Yeah.
If he hits the piss out of the ball, he might mix in the future.
Where is Lee going? 128. I think, man, I have not taken any Conforto, but like, I can tell myself a story where he is a little bit more healthy and we see a little bit of it. But it's mostly Soler plus Lee plus, I don't know, it's Thairo Estrada even. Okay, he's got a ADP of 211. He was one of the best fantasy guys there last year as like a last round infielder if you're building that stack.
Interesting.
And the other thing with
trying to get into Underdog and it won't load right now, but isn't Happ's ADP on Underdog like way before 7.4?
Yeah. Yes. And I might have like, and he goes before Suzuki. So I'm not sure what is going on. I might be part of the problem there because I've been taking Ian Happ all the way up the board. So
okay, there's a pitcher here I've been sold on, but if you don't want to go pitcher, we can go somewhere else.
Let's see. We got 2 pitchers, 3 outfielders, 2 infielders. Yeah, well, tell me who you're thinking.
Cole Reagans. The guy throws heaters. But we can go someone else because I feel like on the recent episode of Stacking Dingers, he was not one of your guys.
He was not one of my guys, but definitely a not comfortable. I guess I should click draft so I don't get put on auto draft again. Everyone is losing their mind over him. Like, really smart people too. Like, I'm not trying to say like this is overblown hype.
Fuck that guy. I thought if we went pitcher there, we could get Cassis coming around.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really looking at stacks too much tonight because I don't know where guys are coming up, and it's hard to with this wonderful interface. Like I can't scroll down through the players without seeing. I guess I could do that, but yeah, or see my whole
an
team.
art, not a skill.
I do not have it, skill or art. All right, let's see what we got coming in. All right, I see our target here. All right, we're gonna take Dansby Swanson to go with our Ian Happ pick.
So I wrote up on Spike Week for our MLB survey we did last week. One of my targets for a stack was Ian Happ and Dansby Swanson.
Sure, yeah.
And you just clicked it, so that means I was smart when I wrote that.
Yeah, he's going a bit later, I think, on Underdog. Or maybe I'm just confused because Happ's going later. I think that's it. Happ is going much later. But this Happ Suzuki Swanson combo is probably my most rostered combo. I don't have a ton of like duplicate combos with those three guys on Underdog. I just like all of their values together.
Do you like Suzuki or Happ more? Like if you got to choose from both?
Happ, but Suzuki has a higher ceiling. Okay. I think
See, I like ceiling guys, and then like earlier talking about players that like haven't shown it consistently or might get injured. Like I kind of want to lean into those guys some, so I like picking your brain about them here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and that I'm boring in baseball when it comes to that. I want some of that floor. I think last year, like if you look at last year, Happ, that is probably his ceiling. Suzuki's not young just because the age you come over from Japan, but he still has. This is his third season. Last year he had some soft tissue stuff, so I don't think he got even like super comfortable till towards the end of the season. So there's definitely an argument to be made for him settling in finally this year and staying healthy and just smashing.
Nice. Speaking of smashing, we probably need to get some outfielders soon.
Okay. We are at 3-3-3. Let's see.
There's plenty of pitchers, like especially with us already having 3. I've had some drafts where I've had 1 or 0 by this point. We've just had some nice lineup for us so far.
Right. And there's still guys bunching up here at the top.
This might be like a running backs bunching up in a wide receiver avalanche here pretty soon, and we'll miss the outfielders.
Okay, good call. But no, to go back to Cole Reagan's, just because I know it's something I'm going to be completely wrong about. It's like, so I keep trying to justify it to myself, and it's hard to do, but it's just he's an older guy for this breakout, and I don't know. He's added a bunch of movement. He's added. Oh, sorry, we're on the clock. So you want to look at outfield. This is a tough outfield spot, partially because I'm not paying this
we can
price
go elsewhere
for him. I'm just gonna go completely out of the range here.
Buddy, you're taking my guy.
Bring up James Outman.
James Outman was my key to success last year. And then I was asking Sheep like 2 weeks ago, like who might be this year's James Outman? And he said, what if it's James Outman?
Yeah. Man, it stinks because watching spring training, like for whatever reason, I know the reason, it's money, but the teams, like none of the teams are broadcasting games.
Oh, I got a rant about this after our next pick.
And So I've been like, Dodgers are one of the few because obviously they have all the money in the world. They're just want people to they're fine paying for it or whatever it turns out to be. Let's see.
This is
We're just
kind of
gonna,
gross unless you like that Eloy guy to bounce back.
yeah, I'm sort of off him.
All right, 10 seconds. Pick somebody else then.
All right, we're just gonna continue a Boston stack. We're gonna reach for Jarren Duran, and we're gonna queue up some. We're gonna kind of build a Boston stack or try to. Oh, position.
Yeah. Story goes pretty late.
Yeah. Vaughn Grisham is undrafted.
I've never even heard of this human.
Fair. He is a human. You got that much right. Should we take the first? Oh, Crone's not even in the player pool.
No, because he sucks ass.
Fair enough.
That's what I saw on Twitter today, that he eats cheeks or something.
Oh. I think he still smashes the ball. He's just old, has back problems, and is on a minor league deal.
Well, yeah, that doesn't like.
I mean, he's not locked into any roster spot. Yeah, so Vaughn Grisham came from the Braves. He did not have any place to play on the Braves. They did not like him defensively anywhere. But landing at second base in Boston, like, that's not a concern anymore. He's a sort of a guy that had some hype, but then just got blocked from actually playing on the team. So it's sort of like maybe having playing time, he can put something together.
Okay.
But no, I've been watching James Outman because Dodgers are one of the few teams broadcasting a lot of games, and he is just swinging out of his shoes. He's either smashing it or he's striking out.
That's fine by me, man. They don't count strikeouts here against hitters.
Right.
What I was going to say is irritating as shit last year. So I drafted these best ball teams, and I'm like, I'm going to get back into baseball because, like, I've always kind of liked it. I've just been out of the loop for a while.
Yeah.
And I go to watch baseball on opening day. Literally none of the games are on TV until the game that started at like 8:30 Eastern. And I'm like, what? Like, screw you, MLB. Like, put on some of these like 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games or whatever they were. But none of them were available on TV. So I didn't even get into it the whole season because it's just not on TV.
Yeah. ESPN on Sunday nights. Otherwise, you need cable team, like local cable packages.
Yeah, I'm not buying that.
Or, I mean, MLB TV is not too terribly priced, but
sheep. If you want to know how cheap I am, I'm drinking knockoff Mountain Dew right now. I'm not buying an MLB TV package.
Well, you think you could save money from doing that? I understand. All right, we're gonna bump up Bryson Stott. I don't love paying this price, but I'm just gonna put this Philly stack together.
Okay. Cool. So I have an outfielder for us when we come around that Billy Jones recommended to me.
Okay. So we're at 3, 4, 5 right now. So you're saying stop at outfield?
No, I'm saying like one more outfielder.
Right. Yeah. And this next pick.
Yeah. I've been doing 7.76s or 8.66.
I'm trying to think. Is it Jack Swinski? Is that your?
No.
No.
I don't want to say it. The possum's lurking.
Oh, we did lose out on Tyler O'Neill. Okay.
I'm not even going to try to say Vinny P's name. That's why he wasn't on the options.
Pasquantino.
Wait, what?
Pasquantino.
Okay, so it's Rooker.
Okay,
Apparently
we're
he's
taking
just...
we're taking Willie Adames here.
Okay, that's fine. But Rooker apparently smacks the piss out of the ball, and that fits my criterion.
Sure, but
yeah, we can take this Adams guy though.
drink.
I messed that one up on purpose. Folks.
Okay, that's all right.
I did not know how to say it correctly, but you said it correctly 5 seconds before that, and I did it wrong on purpose. That was a bit.
Yeah, so Rooker is a guy who was in the Twins system coming up. He's like a pretty hyped guy coming up through the Twins. And combination of injuries and skill, he never made it to the team really. That's when Oakland picked him up because they don't care. They'll run out a goat in left field for all they care. Not
as
the
long
like,
as you can pay it cheap.
Right. Not the greatest of all time, a living goat. But no, Rooker is, I don't know. I don't love him. I know he hits the ball hard. He hits home runs. I get it. But
they give you lots of points on this site for home runs.
Yeah. He is like leading bad at missing the ball.
Well, I mean, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound so great. But then, like, everybody misses the ball, what, like 60% of the time, 70% of the time or more?
All right, let's see if we have time here. All right, let's see if we can find it. We'll probably miss it. Plate discipline.
Oh, he leads the list. He's right on top.
I mean, but if you look at the guys below him, you know, we're also in.
What does the top mean? I don't know.
So right now we are. This is bad. Let's see. What are we starting at? So.
Oh, I draft a lot of these guys.
All right. So we are starting on called plus swinging strike percent. So this is basically how many strikes do you get? So called strikes where you don't swing, swinging strikes where you do swing, right? So he leads the lead in that.
Yeah, man, but I don't know. I see a lot of guys that hit home runs here.
Yes, I agree. But
Mr. Grapefruit, Acuna is going to be just fine. Let me tell you. He'll be okay.
All right, we are on the clock. Let's grab a pitcher here. We're going to take Michael King here, someone who I've come around on, actually from a little bit from...
I just ranted about why San Diego is bad on Draftkings.com.
Not for pitchers.
They play less games.
Oh, true.
No, he's probably fine.
But we're getting him as our fourth pitcher, I guess. It's not.
So we will need one more outfielder. Do you have deeper guys that you like?
Well, we
don't have to say them out loud, but
let's see who we got here. Yeah, we can find an outfielder later.
Okay,
if we want. But I'm just going to take Taylor Ward here.
Okay, this is a guy that I draft a lot of last year and this year.
Yeah, he
very spiky.
Very spiky. Was disappointing last year.
Well, he broke his face. I mean,
it's
not his fault.
Before that, he wasn't exactly living up to projections. But projections like him again this year. he has, spikiness, spike weak potential, whatever.
I've already plugged Spike Week too much, so I was holding back. All right, so there's a guy that we aren't going to take now that I was going to ask you about.
Okay.
He's later, a little bit over 200. He's an outfielder.
Okay.
Yes, every team is a smash on DraftKings. Absolutely. A fellow named James Wood. Like, if
Okay.
you're in a pickle, is he worth it? I know he might not start off the year in the majors. That doesn't scare me because I'm playing to win the tournament, which happens at the end of the year. Like, is this guy anybody remotely we should even consider? Or, like, no, go with Will Benson or other folks?
So this is confusing. Let's see if anybody watching has the same confusion I have. James.
Oh, because it's showing the wrong team here. It does that for a few folks.
Yeah, James
In
Wood
the
is
description, it says he's on the Washington team.
This says San Diego.
Yeah, but you got to read the full paragraph, sheep.
No, I understand. I know he is on the Washington Nationals, Bernie. I know this, that he was key part of this Juan Soto trade. I understand. I know who James Wood is, but is this going to get scored correctly?
Oh, for sure.
No, that is not on my list of
not
targets.
on a deep sleeper list, huh?
Not in a best ball format.
Okay.
Of 20 of 20 rounds. The Jackson Merrill is the interesting guy, getting a little bit of hype in San Diego right now. He's playing kind of out of his natural position to be an outfielder right now because San Diego needs any outfielder they can get. But no, that's a little bit too deep. I understand what you're saying, that you want to play for. Jesus, what happened? Play for the playoffs, but that is not my style. In terms
do you think he'll make the majors and hit home runs this year?
The chances are no.
Okay.
He could. So it's not like he can't. But in my realm of probability, I think it's lower than people want to admit.
Okay. How many pitchers do you like?
We're gonna take Tristan McKenzie here, just as we're. God, I hate this. This is why I'm getting so frustrated trying to use DraftKings right now. Like, I can't see all my pitchers.
Remember who you picked.
They're
good. They're on our team.
King, McKenzie, plus our first year. Oh yeah, we have Cole Reagans. We could have stopped at 4 pitchers with Cole Reagans.
I do want us to take Story here when we come back around. If he's still on the board, that would be nice.
That makes sense to me.
Okay. Lots of chatter about Paul Skeens.
Sure.
Can I get the 10-second version? Where do you land on? Is he draftable in the 16th round?
He's not draftable in any round.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Okay, we do get Story here. It's the same thing as James Woods. They're both on bad teams who don't really have a reason this year to bring them up. Next year is the year that makes sense for both of those guys. Now, Nez, if he's still watching, has made some pretty passionate arguments that Paul Skeens is good enough that he's just going to force the team to play him. Dude just throws it. He throws it hard. He's hitting 102 in spring training games. against major league hitters. So he's an advanced arm because he played in college. He's not like he's coming out of high school. So there's definitely a path to him playing this year, but the team context doesn't make sense to me for both of those guys.
Okay. All right. So I want to talk to you real quick before our pick. McKenzie. Sorry, T. McKenzie, to be more specific.
Okay.
Talk to me about this fellow. Was that like Cleveland's best pitcher, second, third? Like, talk to me a little bit about him, because I looked up some stuff and I'm a little bit more interested in Cleveland than I was the other day, and I don't know a thing.
Yeah. So I would say any of the four guys that are the first four could be the best guy on that rotation this year. Like there's a wide range of outcomes on all of those guys. So Bieber is the classic ace there, who has had some velo. Like he's never had a really fast fastball. He's always, and it's never been like a real great movement, but he is up already in his velo at the start of this year. He did some weighted ball training and stuff. He went to
the academy,
went to Driveline, and so there is a range where he gets some old magic back with a little bit added velo, and he's the best guy. Tristan McKenzie is he's the classic pitcher that nobody thinks can be a long-term good starter because he's too skinny. So I don't know if you're familiar with that whole concept, but
no, not at all. But let's get this dude a cheeseburger, huh?
Right. So he is coming off a pretty major injury. I can't remember what. And so he's not built up to potentially a bunch of innings this year, but he's the strikeout guy.
Oh, nice.
Then you have Gavin Williams and can't forget the other guy, or I am forgetting the other guy. Gavin Williams and let's see, we're on the clock. So we're looking at pitchers here.
Pitchers and maybe an infielder for our last few picks.
We got all of the closers here for some reason.
Because people pick them. We got Lidello, Taj Bradley, Sanchez. Y'all were talking about the other day on Stacking Dingers.
Yeah, let's shoot.
Click the draft button. Yeah, there we go.
That's a UD move there. I just tried to scroll him up to the top of my queue. Yeah, we talked about him the other day on Stacking Dingers, and he has also shown some improvements already in spring from last year. So it was right after we recorded that episode and Tuma was touting him, he came out and showed some new stuff already in spring. So nice. Definitely potential there. We'll trust Tuma on this one.
So the Cleveland thing I kind of alluded to, and I hope I'm quoting this correctly. It's almost 10 p.m. Eastern on a work night, sort of weekend. So if I misquote this, I apologize. But
no, I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I believe Cleveland is the 14-game team, the 14-game team in round 4 on DraftKings. So you could potentially get 3 starts out of a Cleveland pitcher, which is going to be really hard for some of these other teams that have 11 or 12 games to get 3 starts out of a pitcher.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, so I can't pronounce people's names, but I kind of got some of the strategy going here. Seth Lugo's probably still down there unless one of the chat rats got him.
Yeah, let's do it for the brand. He's another guy. He's the opposite of Cole Reagan's a guy who's just going to suck this year.
We'll have some yin and some yang on the team.
And we'll stack this KC group. So now the question:
pitchers.
Yes.
The new program on YouTube.
Yeah. But we're there's a lot of talk. I think like there's this progression for people playing this game, the best ball game. Like everybody goes through this progression where at some point, like where they're hitting that advanced concepts or like just starting to hit advanced concepts, and they're like, oh wait, I know that two-start pitchers in the playoffs are important. What if I take a bunch of guys from the same team? So it's definitely a theory. Like if increasing my playoff probability of having multiple, like over different playoff periods, but
that might be getting too cute.
that's ultimately where I land on it. Like,
Do you believe this dumbass in the 5-hole just took James Wood? That guy's not going to add any value in best ball this season.
Shadow Dog. Well, it's still better than taking Josh Hader.
That's a closer, correct?
That is a closer.
Yes, that's the interesting thing is you'll see people jump in on the internet and be like, why are closers going on in DraftKings? So like, well, people are just going off of ADP. That's where they were. And they're not smart enough to click and figure out they score 6 points a game.
James Wood is a better pick than Alek Manoah, though.
Yeah, that guy apparently just really, really sucks. Never going to get it back, according to Twitter.
Yeah. I don't even know how much he actually had in the year that he was good, but that's whole nother discussion.
So we should probably figure out what we're going to do here. So with how early we went pitcher, I think we have some flexibility. We don't need to go pitcher here because we're at a 7.66. We could go infielder. If you want an outfielder, if you're feeling light there, I think we could go there too. I'm not sure we're boxed in here.
Okay, let's look. Let's see, just if nothing else, let's see who we can pick out of this outfield pool. I mean, it's pretty obvious right at the top, but we'll scroll down a little bit. Dylan Cruz is on the right team. Interesting.
I've taken some Velasquez with my Bobby Witt.
Yeah, and he's a riser on Underdog, so it's interesting to see him just undrafted here. Mm-hmm. He's been a hot name.
No, I like my own money.
Yeah, this is MJ Melendez for me. I think he's a better pick if I have him left. Like if I'm looking at those Kansas City guys.
Somebody just took the other Kansas City guy there. Did I pronounce his name perfectly the first time?
Nelson Velasquez. Yeah. I think they're both interesting guys. The cost on that, mostly the cost was on Underdog, made me take Melendez. I don't know.
Well, I think we just won, what's it, like 50K up top in this tournament? We probably just did it.
It's so weird to me. Like I don't have any feeling on this team right now just because I don't know what other teams look like or my teams look like this, but I do like we got a little bit of stacking in Philly and Boston.
We got the Dodgers stack too. Shohei and James Outman.
Shohei. That one was on purpose.
You already corrected me. I had to get one last out there for the people to make sure they finished their drink.
So yeah, we went Ohtani, Bryce Harper, Rafael Devers, Luis Castillo, Nick Castellanos, Tariq Skubal, Ian Happ, Cole Reagans. You know, I do like this team. The more I'm looking at this, Dansby Swanson, James Outman. Like, I don't love this price on Duran, but we got him. Like, both of these guys are like, we made up for it with Adames and Ward if they hit their projections. Like, these other guys were worth taking there. We got Michael King, Tristan McKenzie, Christopher Sanchez. I was going to see if you're.
I was like, I thought it was Christopher, but I was not going to correct you.
And Seth Lugo and MJ Melendez. Yeah, I like the team. Yeah. I'm also sort of petering out on energy here tonight, so we were going to keep it at one draft this evening. Thank you everybody for joining in. Bernie, obviously go follow what he's doing over at Spike Week. He's got his Twitter handle there by his name. What else? What else you got going on? Anything else I'm missing?
I'm probably gonna do some yard work tomorrow.
All right. Do you want to hop over the Lake Michigan and come do a little bit for me too?
No, I'm just kidding. You can find my work on Spike Week. We do have a whole bunch of cool stuff coming out for MLB. That's all free. And then our NFL package is available right now. We call it the Almanac. You buy it right now and it gets updated 3-4 different pieces a week, all the way now through the NFL season. Up until like playoff best ball will be something different. But so it's one price. You get rankings, articles, strategy. Billy Jones, who's the host or the guest last week, is working on an NFL piece too, which is pretty dope. A lot of great stuff coming over on spikeweek.com.
All right. Yeah. And yeah, if you're watching this, you know where you can find me. Hanging out on the internet, talking baseball. Somewhere. All right. So for Bernie and myself, everybody, good luck drafting.
See you, folks.